Hey everybody, it's Chris, and today we're gonna do something new again. We are gonna do spin art, and I'll show you kind of how I have things set up. I am pouring inside of a washer drain pan, and I'm hoping that this will catch some of my mess because some of you know that I'm kind of messy when it comes to painting. So hopefully this will catch it because I'm in my new studio and I'll be very sad if I fling paint everywhere. I'm on a pretty big table, so hopefully if it flings on top of the table and not on the floors. But that's okay, we're gonna give it a go. So let me explain to you kind of how I have things set up. So I have my washer pan. This is a Lazy Susan that I have primed, and I went ahead and added my hardware to the bottom of it just so that we can spin it. And then I wrapped it in a plastic bag, and I promise I do much better when I'm wrapping gifts, but I just wanted to make sure that the plastic wasn't dragging on the bottom of the washing drain pan, and I also wanted to make sure that the plastic wasn't in the way of the mechanism to cause any issues there. So it's wrapped in plastic to protect it because, like I said, I've got it ready to pour on, so I don't really want to have to go back and clean up another item. So this is wrapped in plastic. We're gonna pour on a 12 by 12 today. I wanna make sure that I still have you in view. And what I've done is I have prepped this with white paint. So I flooded it with white paint just so that it's ready for us. And the reason that I flooded the whole thing was just in case the paint does not reach everywhere. Because I don't expect that it's going to cover the entire surface, but I wanna make sure that there's white paint where it does not. And I'm going to use the bottle bottom that I've used on a couple of different pours. And I'm gonna try and get this in the center. And today we are just going to use primary colors. And the reason I'm doing that is because you'll find that as we start pouring and as they start to kind of meld together, they'll make more colors for us. So this is Cadmium Red Deep. All of my paints are mixed with my pouring medium. And then I've also thinned them down just to make sure that they really will spread across the canvas. So this is the red, and it pretty much just kind of drizzles off the end of the stick. Hopefully you can see that. And then I also have Cadmium Yellow Light, and that's this one. I feel like this one's actually a little bit thicker. I may need to add a little bit of water to that before we start. And then I also have Mineral Blue, and this is the Mineral Blue. I am going to add a little bit of water to that yellow because I can tell that that one's just a tiny bit thicker than my other color. And then the other color that I'm going to, or it's not color, but the other paint that I'm using is some white. And I have some white left over from a pour that I did that has silicone in it. And I thought that might create some fun effects or help to create some more effects actually in this pour. So I'm going to use some of that white again today, and that also has been thinned down. Otherwise, none of the paints have silicone except for that white that was left over from yesterday. Okay, so let's give this a go and see what we get. I'm gonna start with red, and I'm hoping by the way that I layer my colors, it will create other colors too. And just gonna make sure that it starts to flow down all of the legs of that little cup. I'm gonna let that flow down, and then I think we'll pour just a little bit in the center. Because I feel like right now there's kind of a void in the middle. Maybe if I pick it up though, it'll flow in there. Okay, here we go. There we go, and I'm just gonna set this over here in my plastic. and it is kind of flowing into the center. So I'm gonna kind of let that go into the middle a bit. All right, guys, I let this sit just a little bit longer. I decided as I was watching it kind of fill in that it might be kind of cool actually if it's got a white center in it. All right, so now we're gonna spin it out and see what happens. I apologize if it gets kind of noisy. If it's too noisy, I'll mute the sound for you. So let's see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna spin it a little bit harder this time. Okay, that's what happens when you spin it too hard. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna try and spin this a little bit more. My hands are starting to get kind of wet, so I'm having a hard time hanging onto the plastic here, but let's see if we can. I love what it's doing right here, so I would love for it to kind of flare out a little bit more. So let's see if we can make that happen. Apparently I'm getting a little too crazy with my spinning. That is pretty crazy looking, guys. It's pretty cool though, right? I love all the different colors. I wish this would have flared out just a tiny bit. Let's see if we can spin it one more time and see if we can get this. It looks like it's starting to kind of go. Kind of makes you a little bit dizzy, doesn't it? There we go. There we got some of that to kind of flare out a little bit more. All right. So I kind of feel like we need to do another one and spin it as we add the color. But I've already got the station set up, so I might as well grab another canvas and make another video for you. Okay, so you can see that we definitely got greens. The oranges are a little bit right here, and it may change a little bit as it sits. But it's kind of crazy looking, isn't it? There's definitely a lot of cells in there, and it's probably because of that white, I would guess, that we got a lot of the tiny little cells, because it seems like where we have little cells, there's definitely a lot of white in there. But I kind of like the primary colors. I think it's kind of cool. I'm going to set this aside. We'll see how she dries. I don't know, I think the white center in it's kind of neat. So I think I am going to go ahead and leave that be. And then I'll take some close-ups for you and put that at the end of the video. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.